to give you a warning. Today, I'm going to ask you, audience, I'm going to ask you, and I'm even going to ask myself the question that I'm hoping we will all ask ourselves every night before we go to bed.
Well, that's a real challenge to start the podcast, but I'm curious, hesitantly asking, what's that question?
I am going to let you off the hook for the next minute or so you can think about your answer and what you did the last 24 hours, and then you can answer the question after the opening.
Okay, well, I pondered my last 24 hours, listeners. I suggest you ponder your last 24 hours as well.
Welcome to the Creating Health and Wealth for Retirement podcast. This is for those who don't just want to retire, but want to live a fun, travel-filled, strong, and decades-long retirement. Your hosts are Rick Collins, the financial expert who will help you build the wealth you need to retire with confidence, freedom, and zero stress. And Mark Dulaney, also known as the Health Millionaire, who will help you build the health, strength, and mobility to actually enjoy that wealth. Because let's be real, what's the point of financial security if you don't have the health to enjoy it? This podcast is for you if you are about 50 and up, have worked hard, saved smartly, sacrificed, invested wisely, and now want to lock in your future with the health and wealth you need for a great retirement. So, listen up, because the best years of your life should be ahead of you, not behind you. In every episode, Mark and Rick break down the health, fitness, and financial strategies you need to create a thriving retirement. One that's strong, mobile, financially secure, and most of all, fun.
Here we go. Rick, welcome our audience to the Creating Health and Wealth for Retirement podcast, episode 29, where we ask them a very serious question.
Oh, Mark, okay, I can't hardly wait. What's the question? I gotta know.
Well, the question is, are you proud of yourself and what you did the last 24 hours?
Oh, wow. A moment of introspection and reflection. I don't know if I am or not. I'll have to think about that one, but go on. I'm listening.
Well, while you think about it, here's the bigger part of the question. Is what you did in the last 24 hours, if you did that every day for the rest of your life, where would you end up? I want you to really think about that. Whatever your habits are, whatever your daily routines are, whatever it is you do on a daily basis, how you treat your spouse, how you treat your children, how you treat your body, how you treat your money, if you did it every day for the rest of your life, what kind of retirement would you create for yourself? I'm asking you, Rick. I'm asking myself. I'm asking everyone who hears these words.
You know, yesterday was not a great day. I'd have to give myself a solid C+. I did not do well with treating my wife with love and honor. Things happened, and unfortunately, we had a bit of an argument. But, that's part of the reality of life. And guess what? I learned from that. We're going to have some more intense personal communication, but we're going to address some issues that kind of bubbled up yesterday. So that's going to be a positive outcome of a negative action. But did I do everything I could do? I probably wasted a couple hours scrolling on Facebook in the guise of doing research. But really I was just killing time, and that just wasn't productive. So yeah, C+, maybe at best.
And so as I think about my day yesterday, I had a really great evening with my lady, and I'm really proud of the way I treated her, the way I made her feel, the way I appreciated her, and the way I made her feel loved. During the day, I would give myself probably maybe a B for how I performed in my business and my activities. I would say that if you look at life, there are basically 5 major areas of life. There's relationships. There's what we do to generate income. There's what we do with the money we have to create financial success. There's how we treat our body. And there's if we have a spiritual life and how we treat our God, or how we follow the rules that God puts on for us. And the case and the point that I want to make to everyone today, to you, I want to reinforce it to myself and to you listeners, is simply this. You never become great in one day. But what you do every day is what creates the life you're going to live in the future.
And I've got a saying, I got to share it. I can't wait. I think it was Jim Rome or Zig Ziglar says, you don't have to be great to start, but to be great, you have to start somewhere.
That is a great saying. I've heard similar things like that before. And so instead of waiting till the end of a week or a month or getting bad news to judge ourselves, what if before we went to bed or first thing in the morning, we simply said, hey, last 24 hours, what do I give myself as a grade? Hey, last 24 hours, how did I treat my spouse or significant other, my children, my family? Hey, 24 hours, how did I treat my money? How did I treat my career? How did I treat my body? And give ourselves grades. We could easily see areas where we could improve.
You know, you and I both went through some training a while back with a coach, and we learned about what a daily reflection, and I've incorporated that along with some of my recovery work. And so at the end of the day, during my prayer time, I will actually ask God to reveal to me, hey, what did I do today that lived up to your expectations and my goals? What could I have done differently? What could I do better? What could I do more of? And that kind of review is very helpful in helping me figure out what my day looked like in retrospect, where I went sideways, where I hit my targets, where I missed the mark completely. And so that kind of refocuses me for the next day of what I need to concentrate on to do better and become better, a better person, better husband, better businessman, take better care of my health, seek a better relationship with God. It's that review process helps me set up for better success tomorrow.
And so this is a really, really simple and overlooked concept that I can't believe more people don't do it. But asking the question, am I proud of myself for what I did yesterday? If I did this every day, part B, if I did this every day, what's my retirement going to look like? What's my career going to look like? What's my marriage going to look like? And realizing there's going to be days when we're better than we average and days when we're worse. But what is the trend? Are we moving in the right direction to where we're moving ourselves closer to the life we truly want to live?
It's important to remember that, yeah, if I have a bad day, doesn't mean tomorrow has to be a bad day. And it's all too easy to fall into the trap of becoming depressed and caught in a vicious downward spiral. For example, if I eat junk food today and I am depressed and feel guilty about it tomorrow, I'm more likely to eat more junk food tomorrow unless I get out of that headspace and make a decision of yesterday is done. I can't undo it, but tomorrow I can do differently. I don't have to stay in that route, because it's easy to literally fall into that trap of needing a comfort food or wasting time or avoiding going to the gym because I didn't do it today. So I'll put it off till next week or next month to make this change in my life. And you're just digging a hole deeper that eventually you got to climb out of.
And so as we take this conversation to the next level, I think that the important thing to ask yourself at the end of every day is, what did I do today? And how can I do more or better tomorrow? I think those two simple questions, what did I do today? What did I accomplish? And number two, okay, how can I do better tomorrow? You and I, Rick, we have a mastermind, which is how we came about doing this podcast. And we always ask ourselves, and we always make excuses when we don't perform, but we always say, okay, how can we do better? And one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they start out the first day of doing this trying to perform at a level 10. And you cannot start out something performing at level 10. So don't start out great, start out good. And then judge yourself to become great maybe a week or a month later at whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely important to celebrate the wins. And like you said, if I go to the pool and try to swim against, an Olympic athlete, I'm going to get smoked. But if I can go to the gym and lift 10 pounds more this week versus what I did last week, I start somewhere. I start at my baseline and I make continuous efforts to improve. I'm going to celebrate those wins along the way, so it keeps fueling my motivation to keep pushing harder and not become complacent, because being complacent or apathetic means I'm not moving towards what I want. I'm at best maintaining and treading water, if you use the swimming example, but I'm not making progress. So celebrate the wins and learn from the misses to do better the next time.
I think that is the essence of the lesson that I want to get across today to everyone who listens. And I think just to take it a step further, You and I found master. We met at a group. We started. There were six of us in this group. Now there's just the two of us. I think you need to find people who associate with, who have similar plans for growth and success in life. So I happen to know people who every day they need to get high on either alcohol or some form of marijuana in order just to make it through the day. That tends not to be a great association for you if you're trying to do something special. If you're trying to do something, because they're not, they're just trying to survive. You want to do something special. Another thing would be, what are you reading that's inspirational, motivational, that encourages you to want to move forward? Be it biblical, be it some Tony Robbins, or all the other names that Rick likes to drop that he hangs around with on the weekends. Jim
Hey,
Rohn, all these
they're in
other
my
people.
phone. When I'm driving, I'm listening to people like Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar or Les Davis or um, Ed Milet, Chris Crone, Tony Robbins, all those people.
And I listen to so people of my own, but the point is, if you hang around with miserable people, they're gonna rub off on you more than you're gonna lift them up. And I think that's been proven time and time again throughout history. So associations are an important part of who you should be proud of. Are you associating with people? There's a lot of people who say your income is the income of the average income of the 10 people you spend your time with.
Yeah,
So
we've talked about before, your network determines your net worth. And if you hang around people who are complacent, who are just grumbling and always in a bad mood, or don't have any money, they've wasted all their money or they don't go to the gym, they're not going to want you to succeed, because that makes them feel bad about themselves. Your friends will hold you back. If I go to what I call my loser friends, my less enthusiastic, motivated friends, and tell them what I'm trying to do, they tell me I'm wasting my time. It's a pipe dream. It'll never work, because they can't see themselves accomplishing those things. But if I hang around people who encourage me, who see my dream and help build me up, those people will help me move forward towards what I want instead of holding me back.
Rick, have you ever seen crabs in a barrel?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I hear that if a crab is about to climb out, they will grab him and pull him back down. I don't know if that's true or not. I've just heard it.
I'm from Louisiana. Yes, it is true. In a crab trap, it's funny that the first crab gets in and he's happy. The second crab gets in, then one of them tries to get out, and the other won't let him leave. They will literally pull him back from trying to climb out of a crab trap.
I've always heard that. I never knew it was true or not, but I guess there's some good things about being from Louisiana.
There's a few.
So the idea, though, that we're trying to get across to people is that today is, quote, the first day of the rest of their lives. And I think that they need to make a decision. Is this life okay? Or is there a better life I want to create? And do I want to create health and wealth for retirement, which is one of our main purposes. And when you hear that title, Rick, I imagine that a lot of people think that I'm going to give diet and exercise advice and you're going to give financial advice. But really, creating health, wealth, retirement is more about mindset and daily activities that include financial things and career things and health and diet and exercise things. But it's really more about having a purpose to want to do that. And we talk more about mindset than we do about the step-by-step approaches to diet and exercise. In fact, I don't think I've given very many exercise or diet tips since I've been here, and you haven't given out many financial tips. It's really about the mindset.
Yeah, it's almost, we're giving real estate advice. The real estate, the 6 inches between your ears are the most valuable piece of real estate in the world. And if you can get your head right and focus on a better outcome, a different outcome, breaking away from where you are, designing a life where you have the health, wealth, relationships, skills, knowledge, joy. Once you get your mind focused on that, the tactics to get there, we can help with health and wealth creation. But as long as your head is not in the right place to even hear that, you are stuck in a prison in your own mind, and you've got the keys. You just don't know how to turn those keys to break free.
So some of the topics that we've talked about, and it's just like this journey that we're helping people take mentally and emotionally. We talked about pain, your ultimate success tool. Don't avoid pain. What if? What if you did something special today that made you proud? The 5 things of failures. I'm not going to run through the list. If you're a first-time listener, I encourage you to go back through previous episodes, find a topic that interests you, and listen to it. And start with episode 27, Purposely Consistent. I really think that that's the type of episode that can make you really think about what you're doing on a daily basis and how. So Rick, like, we could beat this for another 12 minutes, but I think that the point we made, are you proud of yourself based on what you did today? If we did nothing more but got our audience to ask themselves that question, I think we have done them a great service. So I'm going to just ask, Rick, any final thoughts for this episode, or do you just want to prattle along for another 13 minutes to fill our half hour?
No, it's important for me to take an honest look at my day. Am I proud of myself yesterday? What did I do well? What did I do poorly? Where did I fail? Where could I do better? And the biggest thing for me is I will sometimes minimize or deflect or make excuses. Like you said, excuses. I didn't do what I said I was going to do, but here's why. It's important that I don't allow that to become a crutch, because if that becomes a habit, I'm not ever going to live up to what I decide I'm going to do. I'm always going to make excuses. So having a friend like you, a mastermind to hold me accountable, helps me uncover my blind spots and be more open with I did okay today, or I need to do better tomorrow. So I encourage our listeners, talk to somebody, a trusted friend or an advisor or someone that you're close to, about what you're trying to do. And if they're positive and uplifting, that's a person you can invest in. A true friend will call you out on your blind spots, ask you questions, help you to see where you're minimizing or deflecting or not living up to your potential, and be supportive while doing it. That is a truly valuable relationship that will help propel you down the road, so you can string together more days of, I am proud of what I did today, instead of, well, I didn't do anything today.
That's the kind of relationship I have with a lot of my clients, and I'm sure it's the kind of relationship you have with yours, with being able to not judge negatively, but judge, there's a word I'm looking for, judge in a way that empowers them to do better the next day, the next week, the next month. And so I think that's an important thing. Association. We talked about having desire, but not desire fulfilling your purpose. There's so many things that we talked about. I would encourage anyone who's listening today, we're going to give you 10 minutes of your life back so you can go back and look at our previous episodes and listen to one, and you will see a path to the life you truly want to live, as well as, Rick, let's say it together, creating
health
and wealth for retirement.
Wow, we're not good at that, but we're going to get better. Practice makes perfect. That's right. We will celebrate the win and be proud of our effort and do better next time.
So, Rick, any last words or thoughts for our audience today?
Be honest with yourself about what you did today, what you accomplished. Celebrate the wins. Use the shortcomings as fuel to do better tomorrow. And I encourage everybody to keep trying, be purposefully consistent, set some high goals. And hey, if you fall short of the high goals, you're a lot higher than if you didn't set a goal at all. It's better to aim for the stars and hit the horizon than aim for the curb and hit your target.
We have completed another episode, and I really think that if somebody wants to know, my life's not good, what should I get started doing? I would say this: wake up with a plan and go to bed evaluating the plan and a path to improvement. Get a little better every day and in every way. Be purposely consistent, and it's amazing what you can create. Rick, this is episode 29. If someone went back and listened to episode 1 and heard us now, I think they'd be amazed that we're the same two people. And the same thing is true in your marketing, in my marketing, in life in general. Rick, if someone wants to talk with you, how would they reach you?
Well, they can go to our website, creatinghealthandwealthforretirement.com, or they can go to my personal landing page, bankingforyourself.com. That's the word for, F-O-R, bankingforyourself.com. It's in the show notes.
And same thing's true with me, Mark. You can reach me at creatinghealthandwealthforretirement.com. Click on the link that says how to reach us. And you can also reach me at championsuniversity.com. University spelled Y-O-U. I think, Rick, that you and I next week should come and make a report. Are we proud of ourselves for what we did last week, and report it to our audience and be honest with them? We're going to have
That sounds like a plan. I commit to doing that. We'll do it.
We're going to have some shortcomings. We're going to have days where we're not proud of ourselves. We're going to have days, but we will always learn. And my last words, ladies and gentlemen, is you don't always succeed, but you can always learn how to succeed better the next time. Say goodbye, Rick.
Everybody have a great day. Thanks for listening. Be proud of the wins. Be proud of yourself, because I'm proud of you.
So I get to see Rick's look on his face when I say something. Rick, what did you think of my thoughts?
I think they were deep, probing, profound, and inspired.
All right. Everybody, have a great week. We'll see you same bat time, same
Bat channel.